What's up, everybody? It is Sunday night, August 29th, 6:14 Central Standard Time here in Texas. I'm looking at the S&P 500. Let's take a close look at this. The first thing I'm going to say is warning. Okay? I'm serious. A warning. Like a big warning flag. No, I don't mean a candlestick pattern like any type of flag. I'm talking about the Big Daddy forecast at this very moment is saying, watch out. Now, of course, this day doesn't close until tomorrow, 4 o'clock in the futures market. So there's a long way to go between now and tomorrow. But take a look at the middle of the screen where you see all the little rectangles there. On the far left one, you see 457. That was back on July 1st. And I said back then that we were going to have a pullback. And within 7 trading days, sure enough, it pulled back. I made a nice profit on that pullback. Why? Because I knew it was coming. Momentum, look at the momentum above the 457, that indicator above it, the blue and red stochastic momentum index. Look how high it was at that time, back on July 1st. So you got the 457 in the Big Daddy forecast. Why is that significant? I happen to know this algorithm that I created. I know the numbers on the daily chart for the S&P 500. And when I see a number that large, it gets my attention. That's what happened on July 1st. It was confirmed by high momentum. Within 7 trading days, we had a nice, decent pullback. I knew it was coming. I shorted it a few days early. I got in a little too early, to be honest, but I was able to still make some good money. Now we fast forward to August 12th. That's my infamous, I won't even call famous, infamous, I guess, maybe famous, whatever. Everybody's, a group of people have been hounding me and saying I was wrong. On August 12th, I claimed that the stock market would crash and that the start of that crash would be within 1 week. A lot of people interpreted that to mean that I said that the stock market was going to crash in 1 week. Anyway, whatever. I don't really care. The point is that third rectangle, or the rectangle right in the middle of the screen, says 456. What happened 2 days later, 3 days later? Stock market pulled back. Hope you're starting to see some commonality here, right? So hope you're starting to see this predictable pattern. July 1st, 457. August 12th, 456. What happened soon after both those big numbers? Pullback. Now let's look at today. I got a rectangle around that. I don't have a number there. Why? Because the day's not over yet. But you can see to the left there's another rectangle that says 455.627. Now, like I said, this is just Sunday night. The market's just getting going. So this number will change constantly throughout the day. But 455 is a big, big number, folks. Big. As in, the bigger the number, the greater the chance the market's going to reverse direction. So we'll just have to wait to see what this number says at the close of the futures market tomorrow, Monday at 4. I'll be watching this very closely. Would I take a short position if it came back with a number in the 450s? Would I take a short position right away? No, I wouldn't. Because the Big Daddy forecast is a predictive indicator. It's telling us what it believes is going to happen in the near future. Remember, this is the daily chart, so it's functioning on a daily time frame. Back there on July 1st, it took 7 trading days for the pullback to happen. On August 12th, it took just 2 or 3 days for the pullback to happen. I know from previous working with this algorithm over the last couple of years that 7 days is usually the absolute longest you're going to see. There might be a rare occasion where it goes longer, but usually it's within a matter of a few days you get a pullback. Now, the one caveat I want to say is that we just came out of a recent low back there on whatever that was, like third week of August, somewhere around there, August 20th, whatever day that low was. So sometimes you got to be careful because indicators will say things that aren't really, and indicate things that aren't really true, especially when you come out of recent lows or highs. So I'm keeping a close eye on this because I don't want to get a false reading. That does happen occasionally. But we can tell by looking at July 1st and August 12th, the reading was spot on. This predictive algorithm was firing on all cylinders, as they like to say. The one thing, the other thing that stands out to me that gives this particular last rectangle some credibility potentially. Again, that's all contingent on what's going to happen tomorrow at the close. So please don't troll me and say you said it was going to collapse. No, I didn't say it was going to collapse. Not this time. Okay. Not yet. I still contend that we're going to get a huge crash this fall, winter. And could this be the beginning of the top? Remember I said August 12th that I believed within 1 week was going to be the start, not the finish, but the start of the crash? I still believe that's true, by the way. Just because we had all-time highs doesn't mean it wasn't the start. If tomorrow we close in the 450s on the Big Daddy forecast, hold on to your britches. Things are going to get shaky. And it could happen quick. So we'll have to see how tomorrow goes at the close of the day. But right now for the S&P 500, this at least at the moment, the S&P 500 is on some very shaky toothpicks. Its legs are like little twigs that are about to snap. Now, if the momentum goes up, the momentum right now is at 77 and 72. That's pretty high, but it's not crazy high, but it's pretty high. But back on July 1st, the momentum was screaming high. So that July 1st indicator from the Big Daddy forecast, that has a lot of credibility. I knew it did. But it also came out of a recent low. But both the Big Daddy forecast and momentum were extremely high on that day. So I was like, no problem. This is pulling back. It was almost a certainty. And sure enough, it did. Then on August 12th, we had another big number come out of the Big Daddy predictive scoring come out of that Big Daddy forecast. The momentum wasn't as quite as high as July 1st, but it was still pretty high. As a matter of fact, while I'm sitting here, even though I don't have it on the chart, let me see what was... Looking at the wheat, so I got to switch back over to the S&P 500. What was August 12th's momentum numbers? They were 82 and 75, so that's pretty high. So right now, today, we're only at 77 and 72, so they're a little bit on the low side. So I want to see what the close of tomorrow shows. So I'm just putting out there right now today on Sunday night, preemptively, at the moment anyway, I say warning. Watch out. I would not be in a long position in the S&P 500 right now. No way. You couldn't pay me enough money all in the world. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I could be wrong. But I'll take my chances elsewhere. I'm going to go with some other things. I'm going to show you right now what I believe is going to happen in wheat. And I'm going to show the Euro-dollar futures. So, I'm not going to give financial advice, but I'm just going to tell all of you, there is no way I would take a long position in S&P 500 right now. I either not be in it at all. Yeah, I would not be in it at all. I wouldn't even short this yet. It's too early to short. But I wouldn't be long. No way. Okay, let's take a quick look at the wheat, which I showed this already on Friday, so it's just kind of the same thing, but real quick. This is from Friday. Since the wheat market doesn't open until 7 o'clock tonight, we're just looking at the same data. We saw the big gap up there. Look at the circle to the upper right-hand corner. Look at that huge gap up on Friday. Below the Big Daddy forecast, there's room forecasting to go up. The momentum is just kind of crossed over. I'm long on this 5 contracts. I'm going to hold on to them. We're going to see what's going to happen with that. I think it's a good trade on the long side. Okay, let's look at the euro dollar. This is the futures, not the Forex. This is actually the futures on the Forex or on the currency. This is the 6E. I trade the M6E, which is the micro version. What we're looking at here is the big contracts, but when I do trade this, I trade the M6E. Okay, I think I'm currently, if I remember right, I have to look, but I think I'm holding 10 contracts on this right now. Okay, on the bottom right-hand of the screen, you can see that the momentum is pretty high, hasn't rolled over yet, and the Big Daddy forecast, look how high that Big Daddy forecast is. Now, it's important to kind of look at history to get a sense of what happens with a particular futures product. So if you look to the left, you got the circles on the far right. Look to the circles just to the left of that, the yellow circles to the left of those. You can see momentum back there in like the late July, early August. The momentum was actually lower when it topped out. And the Big Daddy forecast below was actually also lower than where it is right now. Now we're in a downtrend, right? It's important to look at data that's associated with the trend that you're in. The downtrend started way back in like the middle of May. It's been trending down ever since. Okay, you don't want to be looking at uptrend data when you're in a downtrend. You don't want to make those correlations. That's a mistake. I see people do that all the time. You don't look at uptrend data when you're in a downtrend and vice versa. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Okay, so we're in this big downtrend going on. And it's a little early, but I think this is a short side trade. Now, I'm in a little early, and I may have to cut it short. I may have to cut this position loose and get out of it if it goes against me. But I do think that the Euro futures is looking really good here for a short side trade. So that's how I'm going to play it. Okay, that's Sunday night. The wheat futures opens up at 7 o'clock, which is in about a little less than a half an hour for me. Right now, at the time that I'm talking, it's about 6:35, so I got about 25 minutes before the futures market opens for the wheat. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that because, like I said, I got 5 contracts. I want to see how that goes. Looks really, really strong right now. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that. Like I said earlier in the video, definitely going to keep a close eye on the S&P 500 futures. I think Monday, if this thing closes with the Big Daddy in the 450s, get ready because it's going to pull back. And this time, 2 pullbacks that close, I can't say I know for certain, but if we do get into the 450s at the close of tomorrow for the S&P 500 with another pullback that we just had there, like what, not even a week ago, yeah, that's all kinds of weakness in my book. We shall see, but I am chomping at the bit that if this thing closes into 450, especially if it gets up into the high 450s at 460, I'm chomping at the bit for a short side trade, and I'm just going to be waiting for confirmation, which might be 2-3 days, as much as 7 trading days. Okay? Remember, I'm talking about trading days, not calendar days. So that's all I got for tonight, guys and gals. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you click the little thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And the bell so you get notified of all the videos as I put them out. We'll talk to you all real soon, probably tomorrow. Later.